Hey guys, and welcome to another week of hobby. So what's going on this week? Well, like I usually say when I begin this, Mondays for me are a pretty productive day. I usually kick off the week pretty hard and get into it. And so yeah, we have a finished print. So this now what is he? I think he's a flesh troll. He'll be, or a cave troll or whatever. So he's like one of the denizens of Catan for my Blight of Gods series, that if you've been watching some of these hobby vlogs, I've been showing some of them. There's also showcase videos on the channel, and he'll be released in April, I think, for free for 1 month. So yeah, the link's down there for my store, but yeah, he's not up yet. There are some others if you're interested, but yeah, I'm really happy with how this came out. So I went more for like a green tone on this one, so there's more more blends. It's a bit hard to get that, it's really hard to sort of see. He's a bit brighter than this and a little bit more greenish than maybe what this footage is showing, but yeah, I'm happy. It's like a slightly different style to some of the other pallid skin tones that I've done on the other ones. Yeah, and I'm pretty happy. So he's done. He'll get some nice photos taken for him, and yeah, put up on Instagram and on the website, so that'll be cool. And that leaves, after him, it leaves 2 more that I'm currently working on, and that'll be a collection of 6. So I'm pretty happy with how that's gone down, and that'll like at least give an offering for the brand, other than the card game that's already up. So yeah, pretty happy with all of that. And then we come into some other little goodies that's going on. We've got I talked a lot about Death Guard last time, and so we're putting the Lord of Contagion into the list, and I've changed his top so he's not the just generic model, so a little bit different. And yeah, he'll be getting sprayed and so on this week. And then we've got the spawn that I was talking about, the Black Kings that I'm using for spawn on 50 mils bases. So they should be fun. They're going to get the same treatment. So I'll bring both the Lord and that squad up to this level. So the Zenithal and the base layer for my Death Guard, and then pretty much, yeah, and Typhus here, who's also in the list. Yeah, so he needs the same treatment, and they'll get up to that Death Shroud level, and then I can just go through and finish them all off. For my current list, the spawn aren't in it. They're like a variant that I'll throw in later, but yeah, I'm mainly going to work on the Death Shroud, the Demon Prince up the back there that I've shown before, and the 2 HQs, and then that's pretty much almost a completely painted 2,000 point army, I think, once that's done. A little bit of work on the vehicles, but apart from that, all the troops then should be done. And yeah, and I think the new list will definitely work a lot better. Talk about my thoughts on that. So this week I think should already be up on the channel if I manage to do it. I should have, like, I'm going to start, like, rather than do my little tactics talks and little ideas on that sort of stuff, or just generally chit chat, I thought I'd just separate it out as like its own little thing. So I should have had that up. I think I'm calling it In the Hobby, so that's what it'll be, and just me chatting about different ideas, different stuff over the week, so that should already be up. So if you're interested in just me chatting about, I think the first one I'm going to be talking about is Hellbrutes for Death Guard, so if you like that stuff, then yeah, I'll be chatting about that there. And then what else we got? We got this Chaos Sorcerer that I did a tutorial on how to do his armor for like an Alpha Legion style, and I'll be doing a how to do like pallid skin tones for Chaos for this week. So by the time this video comes out on Sunday, or in Australia time, the tutorial for that should already be out, because I released them on a Saturday. So yeah, if you're into doing that kind of stuff, then check it out. It should be pretty good. But otherwise, yeah, it's a good start to the week, and hopefully it continues. I'm looking to sculpt the next one in this series, I think midweek, so I might have something to show by the end of the week if I manage to print it out, but I'm not quite sure yet. I haven't got that 4K mini set up yet. I'm still using the Formlabs printer, but we'll see how that goes. I might get that up this week, not quite sure. But otherwise, yeah, it's a good start to the week, so let's hope it continues. All right, here we are, a bit later in the week now. So yeah, I've been busy painting and getting a lot of at least I guess, undercoating or base coating done. Not a lot of finished work yet, except for, you know, this little guy that I showed before. So yeah, he's all done and ready to go for April. But I did manage to get this little tutorial. Now, by the time this hobby vlog comes up, it should be already out. But we've got the face finally done on this. So I just showed how to do like a little glazing, I guess, tutorial, layering glazing tutorial on doing Chaos Flesh, like, you know, that classic Chaos Sorcerer or Chaos Space Marine kind of looking thing. Can you see there should be like a little bit of yellow in the eyes as well to contrast with the purple. Yeah, so he came up pretty cool. That video should be out already. Should have come out, I think, as of this video, probably yesterday. Yeah, so that was cool. And what else? I didn't talk about these, but I managed to get all of the AOS stuff zenithal. So I did like a really soft zenithal on these. So using that Gracia spray over black, just very, very soft sort of grayish tone. Because I don't want them to be like, if you have a look at these, they're a lot lighter. And that's cool for the particular technique that I'm doing with this kind of, I guess, minty fresh kind of green that I got going on. But with these, I'm going to tackle them a little bit differently. I want a bit more of a deeper, darker tone for these AOS ones. And just so I can play around with some other colors and all of that stuff. So I think I'll be working on this one for the first one. And probably do some little tutorials on it, like painting the flesh and doing all that. That'll be fun. Probably be next week or the week after. And yeah, and so the main thing I did was work on this. So you can't really tell from the front of him, but the legs are all done. We turn him around. There we go. So all his back and everything, and the tail. On the arms. Started on the hands. Yeah. There's a long process painting one of these things. And then obviously the flesh, I'll go back and do a bit of glazing and like a little bit like this Chaos Sorcerer head. So build up the tones first in one color, and then go back and add in the color variation across the surface in the grooves and so on of in between the flesh, I guess, muscle groups. You'll see like purples and blues and stuff like that to vary it up, make it a bit more interesting. But it is a long process, and to be honest, I guess hasn't been as much fun. I don't know if I've really talked about this guy, but I'm not that much of a fan of these old Chaos Demon Prince plastic kit models. I don't know, there's something about them, but anyway, you know, it's something you got to deal with every, I guess, faction that you choose to collect. There's always going to be the one model in the range that you're not that excited about, and for me, it's this guy. I don't know. There's just something about him that's a little, I guess, I don't know. Maybe it's the hands, a little goofy or something. I don't know. Like, look at that. It kind of looks like a club, you know. Like he's, I don't know. It's okay. Like, it's cool. It has a good silhouette and everything, but I don't know, something about it that just doesn't click for me. And so painting, it's a little bit of a chore. But you know, there's value in in forcing your way through a paint scheme or a model that you don't necessarily love that much. You know, you're starting to hate it. Not really hate, but like, you know, just not really enjoy it as much. There's value in muscling your way through and trying to stick at it. Because you'll learn things as you go, and it's building resilience, which is something that you need when you're in the hobby. It's not all fun and games. Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to sit down at the chair and paint, you know, and that's something that everyone, I guess, at some point struggles with. It's definitely a thing. You know, I know, yeah, in the past, you know, there's always that model, right? So, yeah, but I think it's valuable, you know, to sit there and get through it. I think you'll feel better by the end. And in the case of this, see that like ultimately what I want to do is design and sculpt and you know, do my own demon prints for the faction. But for now, I just need a model to represent, you know, just something that I can visually use. And you know, this is probably the easiest way to do it. It's still relatively cheap in terms of price, like, you know, as a kit. So I found that the easiest way, and sometimes that's what you need. Like you might have an idea for a conversion for your character or whatever, but it might be either too costly or too involved at the time, but you really want to start playing games and enjoying it now, you know, so you choose something else to put in for that for in the time being, and it may not be the thing that you love, but you know, it gets you going, gets you playing, and that's the most important thing, because those things feed in on themselves, you know, when you're playing games, it inspires you to paint more of your minis. When you're painting more of your minis, you want to get it on the table to play with it and all of that kind of stuff, and so it just like psychically feeds on itself, and so that's, I guess, you know, healthy to push your way through. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. So what else we got going on? Well, I got Typhus here. He's ready. So these have my particular Zenithal for my Death Guard, which has a purple and blue base over black, and then a white Zenithal over the top. So you get this kind of bluish purple hue coming through the white. You can sort of see that on this footage, but it's it just tints it slightly, so it's not like, if you look at the difference here with just a white over black, you know, even though it's darker, you can see it's a lot more grayish, even grayish greenish, and this has a lot more blue purple in it. Just helps for the glazing and the thin coats that I put over these models, so gets me to the finished result a lot faster. But yeah, I got this one done. Did his top a little different, so just to break up the silhouette a bit. I like that top knot thing that he had, but yeah, just wanted to make him a bit more you know, individual. And this actually coincidentally fits in with I guess the inspiration for this army, which was my Darkspawn faction in Blight of Gods. Yeah, so they have like I guess a symbol that has like a U kind of symbol, so that kind of represents a little bit of evocative of that. And then finally, what do we have? We have these, which I talked a little bit about, but they're now these Blight Kings. They're now on all Zenithal and ready to go as well, so they'll represent my spawn, so I think they're pretty cool. Where's this guy? So I think this one's my favorite. I think that's just a cool figure with that classic, you know, front spike on the helmet. Yeah, I find that to be really cool. So he'll be a lot of fun. He's got like a little nurgling crawling out of his gut, which is you know, gross and cool at the same time. So yeah, I'll look forward to painting that one, that's for sure. And I think that'll be like a fun thing to add in. Spawn are always cool, and you don't see them, I guess, much. They've got a very old kit these days, so but yeah, it'd be good to get them on the table. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. I don't know whether I'll get a chance to do much more after this, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try to get a little more done, probably on the Demon Prince, and maybe at least get the base colors down on these similar to the if I can get it out, the Death Shroud. So get them down to this level, and then they're at least got color on them. That'll be good. And then next week I should have released that little talk video on Hellbrutes. So next week I'm probably going to do a video sort of focused on Typhus, but maybe talk about HQs in general, and what I think is kind of useful going forward in 9th edition for Death Guard, because I think there are definitely some winners and losers, and some ways to play them that are better than others. Yeah, so that's cool, and that was actually a fun little video to do too. I enjoy just talking about that stuff, and you know, putting forward my ideas, I guess. So yeah, we'll see how it goes for the rest of the week. Hey guys, all right, so it's close to the end of the week, getting into the weekend, and yeah, not much progress. So yeah, I think that'll be the end of the vlog for this week. It's been pretty busy, so I haven't had a chance to really get much further than what I got before. We can see here, yeah, he's pretty much the same. Did a little tiny bit of tweaks here and there, but nothing crazy. Same for him. And the rest are all in the same state, so yeah, a little bit of a shame I didn't get a chance to do any more, but you know, that's cool. It's just the way it goes. Hopefully next week I'm really looking to really probably finish that Chaos Lord, hopefully next week or maybe the week after, but I'm really hoping to get it done next week, so we'll see what happens. I've still got a couple more of these to sculpt in that series, and that's kind of something I have to get done. So yeah, the miniature stuff kind of juggles between, you know, the personal work I do, the Blight of God stuff, and then and this. So we'll see. But, I might get it done. At the very least, we'll get a good headway onto that, and I'll start this one next week, and I should do a little tutorial hopefully on the skin, I guess, probably what I'll do, just to show how I go about tackling this and the kind of color scheme I'm going to choose for it and so on. As I said before, I think with all of these, we'll get them out in front here. I'm going to treat these all as individual models, so pretty much for the whole AOS army, I'm just going to do each one as its own thing, with a unified color palette that I'm going to use, which is kind of similar colors to the sort of colors you've seen. I like a lot of those sort of blue greens and magentas and all that kind of stuff, but we'll vary it up. So one might have dark green armor, even like almost neon green or something like that, but then I might alter the flesh tone, so instead of like a sickly purple blue or something, it might be yellow or whatever. Do contrasting colors, but all within the same sort of range on the color wheel, which I think will help tie it all together and keep it unified. And obviously the bases will all be the same, so that should unify the whole lot overall. But it'll be an interesting way to paint it, because I've never really done that, painted an army individually one by one, because there's no real rush to get this done. I mean, with COVID happening, there's not a lot of stuff going on, so there's no reason for me to quickly rush out an army and start playing games in clubs or tournaments or whatever. So for me, the AOS stuff is really just like a nice little side thing in between doing this 40k stuff and my own Blight of Gods stuff. It just gives me something else to paint, gets my mind a chance to refresh before I move on to I guess if we can call this more serious projects, but just stuff that needs more attention. So these are like a nice way to relax. So it's something that I would definitely suggest if you're getting either overworked or burnt out on one thing. Have something else that's on the sideline that's like a fun, relaxing thing that you can do, where you can just dig in, even if it's just like one model, that can help break it up. But that's pretty much it for this week. I hope you guys are all having a good hobby week and getting a bit more done than I did. But otherwise, I look forward to chatting with you again next week and giving you more of this hobby stuff that I do. And have a good week, and I'll catch you next time. All right, bye-bye.